Hello, I'm Kay.
I'm JR.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about our weight loss journeys.
I had the surgery April of 2017, if I'm correct. Yes, 2017.
Right. And I had the surgery this following Monday, just on February the 15th.
Almost a week ago.
Yeah, about a week ago, I had my surgery. I'm still recovering. I'm still having some discomfort, especially when eating. I can only have an ounce at a time. Um, you had surgery in 2017.
Right.
You haven't quite hit your goal.
No, not my goal, but the first 200 pounds may be the easiest, but just like anybody else, when you get to that last 40 pounds that you won't have left, it's going to take longer because you done lost the majority of what you wanted to lose.
Right, and he started out at about 500, and what did you weigh this morning?
264.
264.
Something like that.
Right. So he's lost definitely a whole me since he had his surgery.
If she lost that much, she would be.
I would be nothing.
She would be nobody.
Right. I would have no bones or anything because I only weigh. Right now, this morning I weighed at 218. When I started this whole journey, I was at about 245.
Yeah, so if I would have lost, she would have been down to 30 pounds. She would have looked like I don't even think she would have looked anything because your bones wouldn't even.
Right. I think my bones weigh more than that. But when he went through his surgery, I tried to be there for him as much as possible. I went to all of his appointments with him. I did the cooking. I tried to measure out the calories and the servings that he did, and which kind of helped me prepping for surgery for me because I kind of knew what to expect.
And depending on your insurance, depending on your doctor, if you decide to go the route, some of them want you to do 6 months of seeing a dietitian once a month. Some of them doesn't require that.
Right, I had to
depending on your BMI, if your BMI is over 40, you have to do a 2-week liquid diet. If it's under 40, if it's like 38, you only have to do a 1-week liquid diet.
Right. So I had to see I had to see my dietitian for
1 month.
Yeah, 1 full month because I saw him at the beginning of November, and then at the beginning of December, she released me and gave me clearance, said that I was doing great. I had lost about 5 pounds between the beginning of November and the end of December. That is Thanksgiving and Christmas that I didn't get to eat much, but I have said from the time I started this, that it's worth it. My A1C has been gradually going up. My cholesterol has been going up, so I decided I wanted to do this, and I was going to do it. And I knew that I had his support. He has been so great in supporting me since I started this. So
it's easier when you've been through something that the other person is going through. It's easier to support them than if you didn't experience it. You can still support somebody if you haven't experienced something, but you have a much more understanding when you go through the same thing. Now, before my surgery, I had high cholesterol. I was a type 2 diabetic. My thyroid was not right. High blood pressure. I was on all kinds of medicine, and now I am on none of that. The only medicine I'll probably be on is my albuterol for my bronchitis, but I've also been, let's see. Let me look at my thing. 4 days and 16 hours without a cigarette, so
right,
and not even a vape, so I might not even need the albuterol inhaler after a month. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But I was on all of that medicine, and even without the weight loss surgery, if that's not a journey you want to go, you can still change your life. It just takes time. It's not going to happen. I didn't put on this weight overnight and didn't come off overnight.
Right. I've been heavy all my life, and I've just gradually over the last 20-something years gotten bigger and bigger. I've never been one who was skinny. I I was comfortable with being overweight, but as it started to affect my health over the past few years is when I really decided that I wanted to do the surgery. I saw what he went through, um, but he made it kind of look easy, and it so far that I've been through this, I haven't experienced anything really horrible. I mean, yeah, the first week of the liquid diet before surgery was a little difficult.
Yeah, well, wait till you start getting back to solid food. You got to really be careful because
Right.
I still to this day get nauseous if I eat too much.
Right.
I mean,
and see, I only
going to happen.
experienced right. I only experienced the nausea once. Since then, when I eat too much, I get like a soreness, like a little twinge of pain, like in my top abdomen area, and it's kind of like my body saying, "Okay, that's enough, stop." And we actually had a discussion just a few minutes ago because I know that I need to increase my protein right now because I haven't been having enough protein, and I was going to I drink chicken broth and protein shakes, and I was going to do a cup of broth with a cup of protein shake in an hour. And he kind of reminded me that
you shouldn't do that.
I
You should
shouldn't
do
do
your
that.
broth, and then an hour and a half later, you get you a shake.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter how often. Well, how can I? It's not. What I'm saying is, you finish that, and you got your protein water. You sip on that,
Right.
and then in an hour and a half, you can go get your shake and sip on that. But sipping on that and then a shake and then that all at the same time, like sip here and there and there,
Right.
it's.
I don't get as much as I need to.
Well, it's not that you don't get as much as you need to. You got too much at one time.
Right. I'm pushing it a little too much too.
You got your broth.
Right.
Once you finish that, you still got some of your protein water.
Right. Yeah, this is
But
broth
when you finish your
in my little
protein
cup.
water,
And then
don't
over
go
here,
get a shake.
I have protein water.
Don't go get a shake until you finish your protein water. You only want one thing of liquid with you at a time so you finish it because
that way I can keep track of how much I'm drinking.
And so you don't overdo
it. Right.
Because you don't want to overdo it. Because I'm telling you.
Right. Now, also, as we go on my days, I will probably start adding some recipes that I cook for. I know on my channel, my video that went up yesterday, I did add in my my ranch wings. I found a recipe for ranch wings, chicken wings that I absolutely loved and lived on. The wings are 75 calories per chicken piece, and it's so good, and it can be adjusted to all kinds of different things.
And there's a lot of recipes
that you like.
I love pizza and I love tacos, and we found recipes on how to use boneless, skinless chicken breast as a crust, eggs and cheese as a crust, make tacos with shredded cheese, right. Taco shells.
And that's something that I think we're going to try to incorporate into this.
Yeah, there's a place, I'm not going to mention the business name yet because I haven't tried them, but there's a pizza place local to us that now does pizza bowls, which is a game changer for me because, like I said, I love pizza.
Right, the pizza bowls with no crust. It's just the pizza toppings. 4
ingredients with the sauce and the cheese inside the bowl. Total 450 calories for the whole thing. And like I mentioned before, I'm a big carnivore lover. Meat, eggs, and cheese.
Right.
Is I don't eat vegetables. Period. So I can't say. Well, after my surgery, I was eating them inside smoothies, but you can.
But
yeah,
it's hard for him to put a vegetable in his mouth. He does not like vegetables, and he still lost 200 pounds not eating any vegetables. So it's possible. One thing that he and I have both learned is that the most important thing is portion control.
Exactly.
Keeping track of the portions that you eat, not eating too many calories. the old adage of 3 square meals a day is just so false and so wrong. Nobody should be eating 3 meals a day, honestly.
Well, in my opinion, that depends on your lifestyle. If
But-
all you have time for is 3 meals a day, make it well worth it. Have your vegetables if you eat vegetables. Balance it out. If that's all you have time for certain days of the week, you can balance it out.
But to me, I truly think they make protein water and they make the protein shakes, and those can be meal replacements. There are meal replacements everywhere that are so quick
But you
and
have to be
easy.
careful with those too.
Right, but they are quick and easy, and it makes it a little easier for people to spread their calories out throughout the day instead of just sitting down and eating 3 meals, and you're gorging yourself at each meal, and you're expanding your stomach because you're only eating at certain times, and then.
But if you have, say you have an 1800 calorie a day diet, you can spread your meals out 600 calories over 3 meals if you do it right. If that's all you have time for, because not everybody has time to eat 5 or 6 small meals a day. It just depends on their lifestyle, depends on their job, depends on how much they have to do during the day.
I do agree with that.
My problem is I eat breakfast. And then I don't want to eat the rest of the day. It's 2 energy drinks and 2 cups of coffee and a big breakfast. I have to eat. I have to make myself eat, even if
I have alarm set for my meals, so I totally understand. But I think that
the alarm didn't go off at 10:30.
I know because I've turned them off. But
see,
I've turned them off right now. I because of the sporadic way that I have to eat right now. But I still think that if it's something that you want to put your mind to, if it's something that's important to you, you should try and make a point of setting alarms or setting things to try and make sure that you can spread those calories out throughout the day instead of all throughout the day.
But
instead of just the small times.
It really depends on your job and
I know people working fast food it's hard.
Like for people that are lawyers, if they now during trial may be different, but there's certain days of the week they probably can eat 5 meals a day.
Right.
But there's a few times in a week that they might not be able to, so you can adjust.
I also know we've both worked in grocery stores and fast food, and having an eating schedule is difficult working in those kind of shifts.
Well, it can be. It's possible. I mean, if you got an 8-hour shift, you get a lunch and 2 15-minute breaks. Right. So that's 3 meals right there, and it don't have to be big. Before you go to work, you eat a big breakfast.
Right.
And then for lunch, you can eat a small meal and for 2 snacks.
Kids in school, it's impossible for kids to eat because you can't eat in class. Colleges are the same way. You can't eat in class. You have to grab something on your way to classes.
But that's why you have to be careful of your choices.
Right. Choices are definitely... Watching trans fats and watching what you eat is also important. I mean, we still snack, and I actually, before we started recording, he had a Pringles can sitting on his table, and he still eats Pringles can. But that can has been sitting there for, 2 weeks? A week and a half?
About a week now.
But he only eats a few at a time, and, I mean, right now, I have no idea how I'm going to be. I know he's going to be on me about how I eat and how I snack, because I do have a problem of mindless eating. One thing that I found out when I started this whole journey is that I have an oral obsession, and I'm always wanting to put food in my mouth, or I'm always wanting to drink or have something in my mouth. But
your body's going to tell you.
Right.
I don't have to really get on you, because your body will tell you, because starting next Monday, not this Monday,
right,
but next Monday, you can start eating eggs.
Right.
You start incorporating eggs.
I can start having soft foods like eggs. I can have ground chicken. I can have ground beef, which I'm not a big beef eater. I have
to look at the list later, but see what you can start.
I will admit I'm not a big beef eater.
I'm the carnivore.
Right. Well, it's not the carnivore. I love chicken.
That doesn't make you a carnivore.
Chicken is meat. Chicken is still meat.
Technically not.
Yes, it is. It's still meat.
Ask
a vegetarian and a vegan; they will tell you chicken is meat.
It's not.
If it has a face, it's meat. Okay.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
I like lean pork. like lean pork chops and stuff like that. You like the more
Let's
fattier.
go buy some turkey bacon. How about that?
No, I don't like turkey bacon. No. But I love chicken.
Blasphemy.
My
Turkey.
favorite meat is chicken. If I could eat chicken 3 meals a day, I would, and I probably will for the next couple of months.
Well, first you start out with the eggs.
Right.
And then
Well,
see how
eggs is still chicken, though.
Yeah,
Technically, it's a baby chicken.
but you start out with eggs for a few days, and
Right.
then you move on. You follow the
Oh
thing.
yeah, well, I will follow.
Because your stomach, your body will tell you how it reacts. Because
Right.
I've told you before my journey when I was on that app, My Bariatric Pal, they had people said before their surgery, they used to love drinking plain water.
Right.
After their surgery, they couldn't stomach.
Right. And see,
any
I've been
kind
the
of plain
opposite
water.
of that.
Tap water, bottled water,
Right.
anything that was just plain water, they could not stomach.
Right, and I've been the opposite of that. I hated water. I hated plain water.
You might not like your strawberry drinks after a while.
Right, yeah.
You don't know.
Right.
You
I
don't-
hated
it
plain
changes
water,
your
and now
whole
I do.
chemical makeup on how you
Right.
how your
I like
taste
my
buds are.
I like plain water now. I like my protein water. I like coconut
You
protein
see
water.
yourself in the mirror.
This is our fur baby, Sparrow. I think JR has introduced him a few times. And, yeah, he's going to probably be in most of his videos and our videos together. He's not around me as much as he is around him. But, yeah, when it comes to drinks, though, I've always been real picky. I like strawberry Crystal Light. I stopped drinking soft drinks probably around 15 years ago when my son was very small. It was just, I was getting kidney stones all the time. And I don't know if you've ever had a kidney stone. They're very painful. Very painful.
I've never had one, so.
And every time I would drink a Coke, or anytime I drink a soft drink, it was giving me kidney stones. A dark soft drink, right.
The Sprites and 7-Ups.
I didn't drink much Sprite.
But
that
it
was
didn't
just
affect you, though.
Right.
You knew that. That's
right.
the thing. You
I
knew that the light drinks, if you wanted something like a
Right.
Sprite, you knew it wouldn't affect you.
Right.
So
What I drank was Coke, and I loved my Coke.
I used to drink.
But I couldn't stomach it anymore.
I used to drink
And I
almost
can't
3.5 liters
The last
of Coke
time before
a day.
probably around July or August, I had a drink of Coke because your mom buys Coke, and I couldn't take it. I mean, it's just to me it's sickly sweet.
Now we're
It's
not
just
saying.
way too sweet.
Now we're not saying that you have to give up soft drinks completely.
Right.
You can have 4 to 5 ounces of soft drink once a day, and it won't hurt you.
Right. I mean, I had to quit because.
I was a kidney stone.
Right, because of the kidney stones. I was drinking.
I quit because I wanted to.
Right. At the time, I was working probably 80 hours a week. I was drinking 3 to 4 20-ounce Cokes a day, and that's a lot. And I started getting the kidney stones all the time, and they were just so painful. I could not stand it, so I had to just give them up. And I found Wild Strawberry Crystal Light, and I loved it. And that is what I have drank since
And
then.
for a surprise of people, as much Coke as I used to drink, I stumbled upon the off-brand. Well, she drinks the Equate Walmart
Right, we
brand.
drink we use the
and
Walmart
I stumbled
brand.
across Walmart brand of mixing grape and strawberry watermelon. And I
Right.
also drink the Morning Sunrise, which is like a orange drink without sugar to me.
Right.
And for somebody who never did drink that stuff, I drink it now. And I read an article the other day, if you feel that, something about drinking a protein shake about an hour before bed, especially for people that work out, or, that might help with, overnight with building the muscle or whatever. I mean, you
Help
gotta
burns calories,
or
too.
whatever. You gotta find each individual steps that work for you, and I will always say that.
Right.
We're not experts. We do trial and error.
Right. When he started going through this, we had to learn because we weren't experts. We didn't know, everything, and we had to learn. And we live outside of New Orleans. We live still on the south shore of Lake Pontchartrain, but we still live, it's near New Orleans. Well, his surgery and most of his doctors was on the other side of the lake, which is it's a 25-mile drive, about 15-minute about 15-minute drive across the causeway, and the appointments that he had.
Depending on who's driving.
Right.
And we didn't have a vehicle back then,
right,
so my insurance would have to bring us.
Right. We had appointments, and we had to get transportation through our insurance to be able to go to doctor's appointments. Luckily, he found a dietitian that was accepted by his doctor in the area, so we didn't have to travel so much. But we had to learn. We had to learn a lot. And you went through 6 months of the dietitian.
Yes. Once a month.
Right.
And again, not every doctor is going to want you to drop 60 pounds before weight loss surgery. Right. First one I consulted was at Tulane, and he's like, "Oh, I want you to drop 50 pounds in 2 months," and I didn't think it was possible.
But you did, actually.
But I found one that didn't care as long as I didn't gain too much. If I gained 5 pounds before surgery or lost 10 pounds before surgery, he was fine with that. His emphasis was on changing my mentality
and how you look at food.
And how I look at food.
And that was a big conversation that I had to have with my dietitian, was what my relationship is with food and how I look at food. The one thing that they stress is you need to learn to live. You need to eat to live, not live to eat. And that's something, especially here, being in New Orleans, being in southern Louisiana, everything is about food. Everything is about decadent food, rich, thick creams and sauces, and it's very fattening, and it's all about food. And we had to learn that you eat to give your body what you need. You don't eat to indulge in all of these excesses and stuff like that.
You can still have your gumbos. You can still have your etouffees
and beignets,
but you have to portion it
small
out.
Portions, and not all the time. Just have the sweets or have the decadent stuff maybe once a week or once a month. Don't
I mean,
completely get rid of it.
If you eat a candy bar once a week, it's not going to kill you.
Right. Well, it would me right now, but
it just depends, because some people. It just depends on some. You might find out you might not like this whole gluten thing. You might find out that being gluten-free, you have to go that route because of medical reasons. But if you don't have to go gluten-free, if you're just going gluten-free just because you want to get on the fad, then it's not.
It's not a good thing, because actually our bodies need gluten.
Gluten-free is for people that medically can't process or handle gluten or whatever it is. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I just know that some people need to go gluten-free because of medical reasons.
Right. So
I still once in a while do a whole month where I just eat nothing but meat.
Right.
Just meat. Like, not even eggs, just meat.
I couldn't do that because I love my vegetables, honestly.
Yes.
I love mushrooms. I love spinach. I love broccoli. I love carrots. I can sit down with a bowl of carrots with a little bit of dressing, and that is my snack. I love carrots. I love broccoli. And he looks at that and is like, yuck.
And believe it or not, even too much of vegetables can put weight on you. That's why they say balance it out. And what is it? Somebody told me 80% healthy, 20% junk.
Right.
Each day.
Right.
I mean, and that's 20% junk is not a lot.
Right.
Believe it or not. I mean, it could be a small piece of cake.
Right.
Or 2 chocolate chip cookies.
Right. Now, one thing that my dietitian did say is something in our society that we've all gotten kind of used to is people wanting to have a dessert every single day. And that's not something you should be doing. A dessert should be something that is an indulgence a few times a week, but not every single day.
Now, I will say this. If I make it to 80 years old, then I'm just not going to give a damn anymore. I'm just going to eat like I want.
Right.
Because if I make it to that age, then
right, but
I've made it. And in most people's eyes, you made it to 80. You done made your life,
Right.
The rest of it, you just sit back and just...
You realize your mom turns 80 this year, right?
Yes. Yes.
But that is going to be about all the time that we're going to take today. We do want to ask for comments and ask for topics. We're still new to YouTube, and sometimes it's difficult for us to come up with topics for us to talk about. Right now, because I'm going through the surgery, it's a little bit easier for us to talk about this because I'm drawing from his experience and what he went through with the surgery. So it's a little bit easier for us to talk about it. But as time goes on, we will need some more topics for us to talk about. Something that you want to know about us, about our relationship, about how we do things, about even having Sparrow, and how we are as a family. Any questions that you have, please leave them in the comments below.
Yeah, don't be afraid, because we're not gonna judge. We're not
we don't
here to
judge
judge.
people.
We're just here to talk and,
Right.
and have conversations about life. You know, yeah, I know some things are going to get dicey because people is who we are,
As we
but
get
we're
into
not going to argue.
Right, as we get into
Now,
some
we might
topics about
argue,
our lives, as
but-
we get into about some topics in our lives, it will get a little bit more controversial, and we will probably get some hate comments, but
Yeah. I mean, because me and
we
her,
understand
contrary
that.
to belief, we don't see eye to eye on everything.
Right, we don't. We
Maybe
don't,
90% of the stuff we do see eye to eye on, but we do have that 10%
right,
that we,
that we don't agree on, and
like,
we argue
like
about
her
it.
son.
Right,
He, there's some things we don't agree on with him.
right. But that's me being a mama bird.
Yeah, her
too,
being
so.
a mom, but me wanting to be the person, like, he's 18. I don't mind buying certain things for him, but there's other things that he needs to take care of himself. And she's like, well, if it's up to him, he won't never buy it. He'll use it till the freaking legs fall off,
Right.
or it comes unthreaded.
Right.
I get that, I do, but we don't let that
Stop
us from being,
hurt our relationship.
Yeah, he's not my blood son, but I treat him like he's my biological son.
Right.
I don't treat him like a stepchild. And, me and him we're like 95% compatible. The only difference is he's more into the space exploration and stars and black holes and science, and I'm not.
And technology.
And
he loves SpaceX. He loves.
But when it comes to like solar systems and planets and stuff, that's something he's passionate about.
Right.
I'm not so much. I will read about it, but I don't really dive into it.
Right.
But
okay.
You hit that like button, share, comments.
Subscribe.
Don't be afraid. Subscribe.
Don't be afraid to subscribe, because it's going to be a journey. This channel is definitely going to be a journey between my weight loss and us talking about different things in our lives.
We're not here for a good time. We're here for a long time.
Right.
And we're just wanting to help people out.
Right. Any
Whether
questions,
you take
comments?
advice or not, right. That's all on y'all.
So, y'all have a good day, and we'll see y'all back next week. Bye-bye.